My next question is, if we go back to our generations earlier, and if we assess what was the incomes of our generations before, I think most of us would come in that bracket of the poor. And that is what the bottom of the pyramid is all about, is opportunities. It's a question of raising that bar from that level to this level. As a corporate, I'm from Jindal Stainless Limited, heading the corporate social responsibility domain, and I think it's critical for the business houses to get engaged directly with the communities that you're responsible for. Because that only will lead to good practices for your company, your employees get engaged, and there is an energy which is required for business because it's an opportunity for you. You are deployed in the remotest areas now, especially the industry is going to the remote areas, whether it's extractive or the manufacturing sectors. And therefore, there is a thought between the board, between the shop floor, and between the communities. There is a linkage, and it is making an impact. And I'd like to just touch upon the brief background on this base of the pyramid, at the bottom of the pyramid, which has been talked about for the last 100 years. Roosevelt actually spoke about it, I think it was 7th of April, 1932, that's the opportunity where people have to reach out to. And in the statistics that we've been hearing since morning, globally there are about 4 billion people who come as part of under $2 a day. And in India, we know what the percentage is of the rural population. There's so much that is happening to reach out to these people because it is good for business, and the business talks about the demographic element. We talk about the percentages. Wow, what numbers that we can actually get engaged with, and what is the impact that we can make with the communities because it is good for our business. There was also talk in the morning about the ISR, the individual social responsibility. Even if it is in a metro station or you're at home, how many of us actually are kind to our helpers, to our servants, to even a helper who comes and gives you a glass of water and say thank you. It's a question of connecting with the heart, and if we have got the right connect with the heart, then there is no barrier of the language, because you talk the language of the heart. C.K. Prahlad has been much talked about in his book of Fortune at the bottom of the pyramid. We have got Stuart, who has written also about capitalism and crossroads. We've got diverse views of many others, some who've alluded even this morning or a little while ago, on differences on various concepts and on the transnational models that we are talking about of poverty alleviation models. Everything is related to poverty alleviation. That's the first point which has come about in the Companies Act of 2013. Poverty alleviation is one of the activities that you can get engaged with as part of corporate social responsibility. The unorganized sector remains an indispensable component of our development work. That's where you and me, who are in the development sector, whether we are in the corporates or we are implementing those activities, have a direct impact and direct role to play when we talk to that community and develop them. Whether it's skills, whether it's something to do with your company directly or indirectly. I mean, I'm sure all of you have been to the rural and the remotest parts of our country. We talked about the Naxal infected areas. We talked about J&K, or we talked about on the Northeast. It's the small things that make a house a home. If you are there and if you can make a difference in the lives of people, I think you have achieved much. Because poor are not victims, but creative entrepreneurs, value-demanding customers. When the Jhuggi Jhopadis were there in the remote areas, today you find pakka houses. They're still poor, but they're not as poor. The aspirations Dr. Vaswani spoke about, aspirations I've seen in Jajpur and Kalinganagar in Orissa. Just 5 years ago or 7 years ago, when there were hardly industries there, the people were quite satisfied and happy. When you took over the lands and when you did the ousties and you developed them, the aspirations have increased. The poor have great aspirations. Try and meet those aspirations. That's the talk that we're talking about, bottom or the base of the pyramid. The poor of today are the middle class middle class of tomorrow. That's why I asked you that question in the beginning. And that is a fact. The numbers increase. Poor are always there. But tomorrow they will be the middle income. Provided we can use them as, or rather create opportunities, not only for them, but for ourselves also for the business. Poorer producers rather than the markets of consumers co-create business and markets, and they're the models of sustainable development. And that's how we impact our social structure. Therefore, it's a direct connect between the boardroom and the community down below. And now they are social entrepreneurs. Even now they've got a number of farmers who are engaged in beetle vine cultivation. And see the joy in the face of that individual. That's what is important. Making a change and difference in lives of people by bringing a smile to their faces. This is something which a production center, Smita, that we have created. It's getting orders from Fab India, it's getting orders from Good Earth, it's getting orders from some export houses. Small unit established in a matter of a year and a half. They have got aspirations. They want to reach the sky. And they are getting that journey up. Some of it is being bought by a company. We need gloves, we need this, that, and the other. A hospital needs this. Our schools are there. All the schools, the government schools around all need uniforms. This production center is a great entrepreneurial activity. The women over there who could never speak or come out of their villages are today conversing when they come for the exhibitions in Noida or in Gurgaon or even in Mumbai. And I was shocked at when I saw these ladies. I said, you are the same person. You couldn't talk. Now that's the scale that we've really got to work. Make it small. We don't have very big projects. But the projects that we have are impacting lives of people. This is some of the art that we're trying to preserve and work towards. And this is on the business and human rights that I spoke on. So it's an opportunity when we speak at various forums because we're actually doing it on the ground. And I would encourage more corporates over here to try and join this platform. On the 25th, we are having a great engagement again on business and on human rights, Shift from the US, along with Mazars and some others, and we are collaborating with that to try and make a difference. So to conclude, I would just say that sustainable communities favor a business environment. Try and reach out to the bottom of the pyramid and have a robust mix of policies and legal frameworks to ensure that we go beyond the statutory compliance. We've got to reach out much beyond that. This Companies Act 2013 and the CSR guidelines, which have come out recently on the 1st, in fact, been released on the 1st of March or 28th of February, have given you a guideline, those 11 precepts or the principles. But there's much more beyond that. Try and make a difference in lives of people and try and build their skills, whether it is to do direct with your business or indirectly, that they earn and they become your customers of the products that you're producing. Thank you very much.